marsh down there. Marshland is just a grassland that's covered in water. Swamp's just a forest that has water in it as well too. I'm not fancy about either one of them. But since this water is fresh, now the different type of fish we have out here, they do have alligator gar. The Native Americans that lived here, they would take the alligator gar and skin them out. They'd stretch their skins out and pin them off, let them dry out. They would use them for shields and for arrowheads. That's how strong the scales are with them. A lot of times when you clean them, you need you need like a machete to break through their scales to flay the meat out with. And we have largemouth bass. They also have striped bass too. We got brim, perch, and sac-a-lait. Sac-a-lait is a type of crappie we have. They're about as big as my hand, not that big. Catfish is your main targeted one, and we have Gulf sturgeon too. They're similar to a white sturgeon, and once you get out more towards the lakes, you get more like redfish, speckled trout. We have stingrays out there, different types of sharks too. Actually just caught the biggest bull shark a month ago out there. It was 6 foot 3 inches, like it was big old. So we're in the lakes. And then you got like black drum and stuff like that too. Come here, Wally. Alright, so here's one of our American alligators. Now, you can actually tell the size of an alligator just by looking at them. So they have that bump on their snout. You measure from that, you just go back to their eyes. However many inches that is, that's how many feet that alligator is going to be. So if it was 2 inches, that's a 2-footer. 10 inches, 10 feet, so on and so on. Now, those bumps on their back are going to serve a little bit different of a purpose. It's what they call their scoops. That's how alligators warm up. So they get up on the top of the water, they get out on logs. The sun's going to start hitting those plates on their back, which warms those up. Their blood vessels do run through there. Now, smaller alligators, it doesn't really take that long, a couple hours. Large ones, it could be a couple of days. So it depends on how cold they are. We're going to head over and see this one. Now, in the water, an alligator is pretty quick. They can swim around 30 miles an hour. And on land, they can run 10 to 12 miles an hour. Everybody's always going to tell you, if you're getting chased by an alligator, you go running a zigzag and they can't catch you. That is a lie. Do not do that. They don't really want to chase you, but if they did, they're not going to zigzag to do it by any means. Now, luckily for y'all, I know the best way to get away from an alligator if you are ever being chased by one. So if one does start to chase you, with your friends, spouse, kids, things like that, you just tell them to run a zigzag and then you run in a straight line. You're good to go, you ain't got to trip nobody. Now, mating season's also over for alligators. It does start around the end of April to early May. It's only about a month long. So before that, Mom's gonna head out in the marshland. She starts building her a nest. So she'll make it out of sticks, mud, grass, different things like that. And she can have anywhere from 20 to 60 eggs. Now they can be from different males as well. Alligators do get around a little bit, you know. So she'll go out there and she'll lay her eggs. Well, obviously she can't lay on them to incubate them. She'd crush them all. So how they do get incubated is as that nest decays, it's gonna produce heat. Normally when you're about 90 degrees and up, you have all males. 80 degrees and lower, then you'll have all females. If you're in that 10-degree range, then you get a mixture of both of them. You'll have some males and some females. Just kidding. Now, she'll sit around her nest for about 65 days. Keeps it safe from birds, raccoons, other alligators, different animals trying to eat her eggs. Don't worry, they'll only go where one of these pellets goes. Okay, so just keeping her animals, her eggs safe.
Throw it in?
Yeah. And then once they all hatch, she'll go back up to her nest. She opens her mouth up. She'll do like a little bellow. They'll climb into her mouth. She takes them to the river, then she lets them go. Now, after that, they're on their own. The problem you have with that, there's a lot of things that do like deep baby alligators. They're only about 6 inches long when they're born, so they're not very big. And you have things like great blue herons, great white egrets, raccoons, catfish, other alligators. The list goes on and on. Let's say that 50 of them hatched, maybe like 5 to 7 of them will make it to adulthood. It's really only about 10% with them. It's not very many. So. Now, do any of y'all know to tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? No? So, it's going to mainly be the snout. Crocs had that long pointed snout, and alligators have shorter, rounder snouts. Now, they did teach me another way too, how to tell the difference between the two of them. It is foolproof. As long as you know this way, you will never get it wrong. They told me though that one's going to see you later, and that one will see you after a while. That's a good one. My last tour group didn't even laugh at either. What kind of childhood y'all have?
I like it.
Now, we don't have crocs here. So anything you go see in Louisiana, it is an American alligator. They do have crocodiles in Florida around the Everglades, but they are endangered. There's not many of those left. They say there's about 3,000 of them left down there. Other than that, you have the American alligator, and then you have Chinese alligators, and then you also have crocodiles. But they are all in the crocodilian family. Crocs get bigger, they're more aggressive, the teeth go all kind of crazy, which ways as well. Actually, with alligators, if y'all look at those heads in our gift shop, anywhere they sell an alligator head too, but if you look by their teeth, you're going to notice there's holes in their jaw. So when they close their mouth, their teeth do fit. That's why you don't really see them that much. Bottom teeth you can't see at all. Their top teeth you'll kind of see hanging over the side. They're a lot more uniform too. So.
Did he ever jump up?
They can. They can jump 2/3 of their body out of the water. We used to make them jump all the time, but we used to put hot dogs on sticks, have them come out of the water and everything. The problem is, though, you get that 1% of people that come out here and they complain about everything. For some reason, that's who the company caters to. I have no idea why. But, and they're like, oh, y'all are teaching alligators how to lunge out of the water. Now, like you're saying, they know how to jump 2/3 of their body, so we can't teach them how to do something they know how to do, right? We swapped to marshmallows after that. They say they don't process the sugar with a marshmallow, it goes straight through them. After a while feeding them marshmallows, then people were complaining. They said that we were giving alligators diabetes. I don't know who was doing a glucose check on an alligator by any means. So we just give them the protein pellets now. It's like crushed bones, fish bone, dry blood, but it's like what they give them in zoos for treats. It doesn't fill them up. They still got to do all their hunting too. The only time I've ever had one like come close to jumping, it wasn't on this boat. It was a different boat. It was a little bit closer to the edge, like that. I was up there on this one. When I had a pelt like that, I was talking. I had one that kind of jumped up. Now, would y'all swim in here? A bunch of babies. I swim in there all the time. Daytime, nighttime, I've done it my whole life. If you're from here, you're not scared of getting this water by any means. The only time I've ever been close to an alligator in the water out here is when I jumped off the front of the boat on one. Hold on tight, it's a wild ride, it's like our cow tipping. And everybody always thinks it's the mouth you got to worry about. It's really easy to keep their mouth closed if that tail beating you around on the other end will hurt. So you got to lock on that thing. Now, you don't really get any incidents with alligators actually messing with people. You might get an incident or two from them in a year here in Louisiana. It's them eating people's pets. You have a lot of houses on the canals. You got your smaller dog or your cat out and they go down by the water. Alligators will grab them. And they cannot stand a barking dog either. These things will come from 2 miles away to come eat your dog if it's barking. My neighbor has this little yappy thing next door, and I'm about to bring an alligator home for one night. I just need one night to get rid of this dog, you know. Now, there's only been 2 reported deaths actually in Louisiana from alligators. One was in the late 1800s, and the other one was a little over 3 years ago when Hurricane Ida come through. And there was a couple that lived not too far from here. Well, they started to flood. The old man went downstairs to go pick his generator up, and when he did, that alligator supposedly attacked him. Now, his wife, she went down there and she drug him up to the top of their stairs, and she left to go get the authorities. Now, I think if that was my wife, I'd have brought her inside. Probably would have took her with me, you know, but they were a little bit older, that's fine, okay. Now, when she got back with authorities, he was gone. A couple of days later, they found that alligator and they cut it open. He was in the belly of it. But I am here to tell you as well, if you're in Louisiana and you want to get rid of your spouse, best way to do it is to feed them to an alligator during a hurricane. They didn't question anything. Like, okay, you know, but I'm pretty sure she pulled a Carol Baskins on him, just saying, you know. But I've been here through a lot of hurricanes, a lot of storms. Nobody just gets eaten by an alligator. Miraculously happens. Now, people think that they're going to be a real crazy, aggressive predator too, like how a crocodile is. Like, as soon as you touch this water, they're just going to come try to eat you. That's not the case by any means. They are pretty lazy and they're opportunists. A lot of the ones here, they'll hang out close enough by people's docks. And they go skin catfish, other animals. They throw that carcass in the river. Alligators do eat it. So they clean up through the river, just like how a vulture is on land, pretty much, you know. Now, diet farms mainly fish and birds. They eat raccoons and nutria as well. Nutria is just a swamp rat that we have around here, and they get up to 20 pounds, so they're a big old rat. But kind of think more like a beaver or a capybara, actually, than a rat. He's about to go up there. Now, a lot of people think they're going to eat turtles. Now, I'm not saying an alligator's not going to eat a turtle, but let's just say you got one like